Okay. Boys and girls, good morning. Reset day. Everybody is well. Just getting a few last things finished. Coffee is cooking. Dog is switching beds. Squeeze both dogs in just about. Maybe you get the luxury of my wonderful face. How we doing, boys and girls? Good morning. Dog can't decide where she's taking a nap. Oh! Okay, reset day. Let's get some of the accounts open. Here's a question. Do I need all the accounts open right now? I don't think I need all of the accounts open, do I really? Let's just keep the main one open for a minute while we do things like check the vault. Logins. Hope everybody's had some good luck with their vaults this morning. Or, well, yesterday if you're playing on Team NA. What do we need today? We need a tier. We need a piece of hero gear to drop in either chest, shoulders, or gloves. Maybe? Can't remember where. I've got set legs. And I've got set something else. I can't remember what the something else is. It's going to be a stretch to get our 4-piece bonus this week, though, I think. I don't think we're gonna have to pull something magic out the bag. What I should have done, theoretically, and I didn't think about this at the time, what I should have done is I should have waited until I had 2 pieces of set naturally, then catalysted 2 other bits. But if we don't get 4-piece this week, we'll get 4-piece next week. It's almost guaranteed. RNG would have to bless us really badly for that not to happen. Right. Yeah. We got gloves. And we got trousers. So, helm, shoulders, or chest. Helm, shoulders, or chest would be nice from the vault. Helm, shoulders, or chest. Now, we're not going to empty the vault yet, because we're going to go do our hero. We're going to go do our delves, but let's have a little looky, shall we? Shoulders. Non-set. Helm. Non-set. No, set, sorry. We got, okay. Loads of options. Helms. Set helm. Or if we need to, we can catalyst a pair of shoulders. Well, what we really need is a helm, a chest. Okay, well, that's 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. We need something that we can throw in the catalyst now. I'm not even looking at these. Yeah. Neck. That's all veteran gear. I couldn't care less. Right. Set helm. With socket, actually. Set helm with socket. Going to be hard to not take that. Right, well, we need to go do some delves then. First things first. Some 11s. Trinket's pretty nice. Is it? Is it just a good trinket? Recklessly feed a portion of your essence to the forge, granting you 24,000 agility, decaying over 30 seconds at the cost of 15% health. Okay, that's actually not a bad trinket, is it? It's not a terrible trinket. It's just, being veteran, we're not going to be able to take it very far. That would be a consideration end of season. Right, we need some keys. Do I need keys? Yeah, I do need keys, don't I? I've got 1 restored coffer key. I need 3 more, preferably. 3 more would be nice. Do we have any of the... We've got 50 of the coffer key shards. What's our weekly business? Let's have a look.
I understand your frustration, Gaora, but do not rush to conclusions.
We could just go do Ecodome stuff and whatever. Not doing that one, absolutely not.
Conversation initiated.
Or Titan disc fragments. That's an easy one.
Our repair efforts would not be possible without you.
Do we start off by going having a little bit of a look? No, actually, I've got 1 key. I've got 1 key and I've got a Shrieking Quartz, which is enough to go do an 11, trigger our map, and claim our map all in one go, isn't it? Is it Spark or Catalyst Week? It's Catalyst Week this week. Spark Week, I think. Full Spark Week should be next week. We get a Catalyst charge. So let's go do an 11. Is there any 11s that aren't gross today? What we got? Kriegful's Rest. Swarming Kobolds. We've got the Dread Pit. Side Street. Mr. Delver. Isn't that the one that doesn't have a boss at the end? Isn't Mr. Delver the one that doesn't have a boss? If so, that's a real easy win. Nightfall Sanctum. I might just go do Side Street. We'll just go do Side Street. That's even if it's not the one I'm thinking of. What's the difference in rewards for an 8 versus an 11? 8s will give you everything you need. 11s will give you a few more... Well, 11s give you more Bran experience if you're still leveling up Bran. They will also give you slightly more crests. And additionally, you want to do 3 11s each week if possible. As that is then a source of gilded crests. You can do 3 11s per week. But you only get the gilded in 11s. But you can only claim, was it 7 gilded per, so 7, 14, 21. And if you also do your map on an 11, it will give you 10 gilded from that as well. In theory, I could bang out the quick and easy stuff out here for... Could go do a World Soul Memory, to be fair. That gives me Coffer Key Shards. I've got 15 Radiant Echoes. Maybe we just do one of them. Get some bonus keys easy. I hate these World Soul things, I really do. So many achievements and stuff to do with these as well. Right, let me grab me coffee before we start this, because this has got a timer on it, doesn't it? Chargist, how we doing? Welcome in. Good morning. Right. Rush 5 Radiant Echoes in your fist, increasing the memory to the maximum difficulty. How do you even unlock this? Complete a series of echoes. 5-fold rewards, 5 times the normal amount of coffer keys granted. Whatever. This is just a kill thing situation, isn't it? Do you actually have to do anything else? Get a big score. They're meant to be rares or something in these. I can genuinely count on one hand the amount of these I've done. It's the lovely rat red gem quest today. Did you get that in your warrant, did you? I think people do get different quests depending on different warrants they get, right? You might be lucky to not get that one. That quest is an absolute joke, yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, there we go. There's a... Where'd he go? Come back. Oh, do pet things. Also, new Oasis going to Maldraxxus with a terrible spawn rate. General chat there is not happy. Oh no. Oh dear. Might leave that one till tomorrow then. The those Ecodome pets are really coming down in price. I still haven't really decided what sort of price I want to pay attention to those yet. They're limited enough that they do have some inherent value, but considering so far the appeal of them seems to have been so lacking, I'm not even really sure if they will have that much value. It's kind of crazy. Still sell flipping protoform synthesis pets for more. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do about the Ecodome pets. I should at some point just pick a price and go for it, but...
Victory lies ahead.
Can I kill... Do you think I can kill Scraptura whilst also doing this World Soul thing? And I wonder if he gives me points. Gonna trend to nothing, to be honest. Well, there has to be something to be said about the fact that you can only get one a week. There is some inherent value in those Ecodome pets purely by proxy of the fact that you can only get one a week. And so there is the convenience tax aspect of players who just want to get all 12 in one go. But the question is how important is that to most collectors to get them quickly? Or are most collectors just content with getting them eventually? Alright, what was our score? 220? Wait, why is it reset? Oh. Okay. I got 29 coffee key shards for that 5-minute mini blast. 29 coffee key shards, and that was a 5 times reward. Wow, no wonder nobody does these things. No wonder nobody does these. Everybody can roll them though. Even if it's 5k, it's worth doing it and then just selling it off. Would have to be just above a world quest value, 2 to 3k a pop. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, it's hard to define, isn't it? It's one of those where I tend to think their value will be stronger after the patch. Because it will still, and always will be, a collectible item. A pet always has that inherent. It will always be a collectible item. And if there's in any way, shape or form a limit to how many of them that you can get, you can argue that there's always some value in that regardless. But you might be right. They might end up being like 2,000 or 3,000 gold. They might end up being like quick and easy pet sellers rather than anything of significant value. Right, let's go do side sluice. I wanted to test that echo because I was just here, but it's also reiterated to me that they are absolutely pointless pieces of content. Let's see if we can blast this out. 11. Hey, we're actually above the recommended item level for 11s now. How about that? A myth belt or an A-class trinket at hero tier. Oof. Trinket likely better for the short term, but belt better in the long run.
It's treasure. I know it. We're close.
I would question just how much of a long run there really is in Season 3. How quickly are you going to be distracted by remix? How quickly are you going to be distracted by housing? How quickly are you going to be distracted by taking a break before the next expansion? How quickly are you going to be distracted by literally anything else? I honestly would go for the short-term win because you're probably more likely to get more out of it. Now, that's probably not the answer I would give in most seasons, but as of right now, short-term win is probably better. I don't know. A myth track anything right now, at least you know it's almost guaranteed to last you till the end of the expansion at this point. Oh, that's a good question. When do we replace this? Does this hold... How much value does this hold past its natural item level? I reckon if that can be... Because what is it? My... 4 of 6... 4 of 6 is already higher item level. So once we get 8 of 8 hero gear, then you probably replace this player borrowed power belt, don't you? For some classes, it's better than fully upgraded mythic items. Is it really? Okay. So it holds its value quite well then. Even though it might get outpaced in terms of item level quite easily. Yeah, if you care really, sim it. I live in a world where item level is mostly king anyway. So big number is big number equals better number. As silly as that sounds. Nobody ever comes into the chat and says how much DPS do you do. People always come in and go, what's your item level? So for purely bragging rights, I go for bigger numbers on item level, but that's just me. This song slapped so much at Tomorrowland this year. Did you go? Well, I'm assuming you did go. I've never been to Tomorrowland. It was always one on my list to go to. When I was young enough and had enough disposable income to potentially do it, for whatever reason I never did. And then I got a bit older, and Tomorrowland got a lot more expensive. And I was like, even I don't have the disposable income. You know, there's such things as having adult money, but adult money also comes with adult expenses. And now I play video games for a living, so I don't even have adult money anymore. But Tomorrowland was always on my to-do list. It's not a regret not doing it, but I did some of the others. I did the UK-based ones, your Dreamfields and Global Gathering and this sort of stuff, but yeah, very expensive this year, but worth every penny for me. Hey, I mean, like I said, if it's disposable income and you get enjoyment out of it, do it, man. Do it. Who's to tell you what to spend your money on? Got it mixed up with Neverland, bit different. Yeah. Slightly. Still plenty of drugs going around though. Either way. So I've heard. Long time viewer, first time caller. How much DPS? Shut up. I do negative DPS. No, it's actually quite funny. My item level has gone up by like 10 points in the last week to 10 days. In fact, probably last reset, my item level went up by about 10 levels. 10 points. But my DPS didn't move. Literally didn't move. This is going from having a 4-piece set bonus from Season 2 to a 2-piece set bonus in Season 3. And obviously the cloak is doing quite a lot of heavy lifting, and having a 720 crafted weapon's doing quite a lot of heavy lifting. But it hasn't really turned into actually doing any more DPS, really. And, I mean, I'm flipping sat here scrolling a wheel. I'm not really focused on doing uber damage. As long as the stuff dies in a reasonable amount of time, I'm happy. Right, we need to get over there. Ooh, memento bag. Not memento bag, mislaid curiosities. Flipping hell, too much remix. I know I haven't done any videos for YouTube for like flipping ages at this point. I've really let YouTube slip. But I almost can't not give video feedback about Remix. Because it's really interesting to me to see that my initial thoughts of Remix, which I kind of chalked up to me being maybe slightly overcritical, and equally me very much looking to just basically have MOP Remix 2.0. But now, a couple of weeks of PTR being up, and I have seen absolute mountains of feedback, all saying the exact same thing, all reiterating and borderline parroting exactly what I thought from the word go. That it really does warrant talking about in a bit more detail, I think. Now, I clearly don't have the YouTube platform that I maybe used, that I used to. Because of my own, I've let it slip, that's my own fault, but I'm very tempted to do a TED talk on it, to be honest. I just don't know if it's the best return to YouTube video to do. Especially with Alpha around the corner, I don't know. I mean, hearing the vibe of Remix is bad. Felt the great power-ups from MOP Remix came from the raids. Do you think the phase release is hurting this version? The phases are absolutely not going to help. They are absolutely not going to help. They benefit one person and one person only, and that's Blizzard. But even that benefit is questionable. They benefit Blizzard from an engagement perspective of that it will make people log into Remix every couple of weeks to at least play it a little bit. And enough people will do that their engagement metrics will say, look how many people started Remix and look how many people finished Remix. Whereas with MOP, there was an awful lot of people that played it solid for about a month and then put it down. And I wouldn't go as far as to say it was desolate at the end, but it definitely didn't have that first month appeal. anymore. And so I strongly believe that one of the core reasons to why they've implemented phasing this time round is in order to stretch the engagement. Now, Josh, who is the lead dev for Remix, by the looks of things, has come out and not stated otherwise, but has claimed. In fact, let me not mince my words here. Let me actually showcase to you the exact words, because it's not secret. It was in a public forum, so it's open for critique in my mind. So the TLDR is that somebody gave him a big old list of feedback. Right? And then big old list of feedback. Can I show this without doxing anything? I've got streamer mode enabled. It's probably fine. So it was given a big old bunch of feedback, right? Basically mimicking a lot of what people had said. Leveling feels like a slog. Phases has me uneasy. I don't expect a one-shot thing, but the power curve doesn't feel right. You know, TLDR. Nicely put feedback. Then Josh, who is the lead dev and apparently the lead on Remix, I appreciate the feedback. I understand where you're coming from and your feelings are valid. Some updates to come soon. I do want you to feel Mr. Pandaria level of powerful, but I also want to bring back the feeling of growing your artifact over several patches and returning to the zones that were once challenging and slaughtering everything, which is a kind of progression and narrative you only feel in phases. But it's not, though, is it? This is the thing. Phases is the lazy way. Phases is the lazy way to replicate that. It's the lazy way. Just putting in a wall and saying you cannot go past this wall for 2 weeks, and then doing it again 2 weeks later. It's the lazy way of doing it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with. I mean, fuck. Look at Classic from 20 years ago, 2006. You know, you had zones that had mobs in them with a specific level bracket, a level range. Mobs would go from level 10 to level 15. And for whilst you were also level 10 to 15, those mobs were a challenge to take down. But surprise, surprise, by the time you were level 30, you could go back there and you could slaughter everything. That didn't need phases. That wasn't a kind of progression or narrative that needed phases. So this is an excuse then. This is an excuse. This is a convenient way to say, you know, to hide the fact that it's an engagement play. And this is the real frustration for me. The real frustration is that the vast majority of the feedback around Remix has been very similar. Very similar. Very similar narrative with all of the feedback. Mostly, you know, mostly leaning on the fact that it doesn't feel like Remix. It's slower than retail. Why is it phased? Why do I have an infinite power that doesn't seem to give me any power whatsoever? All of the feedback has been relatively similar in that vein. Yet, stubbornness to not change things will kill it. Will kill it. It'll be dead on arrival if they launch it in the state that it's in. It will get absolutely massive week 1 numbers. Humongous week 1 numbers. The numbers will be absolutely off the charts, and they'll be off the charts because people won't have paid any attention to any of the testing phase. They will have heard very little about it, or even if they've heard something about it, they will want to see it for themselves. It will do massive numbers week 1. If it launches October the 7th, it will do massive numbers. By week 2, it will be a graveyard. For 2 reasons. 1, people will see it for themselves, realise it's an absolute slogfest and that there's no real power to be had. They will also realise that the landscape of doing... I want to take this, but I also need to do the Nemesis boss. Can I do the Nemesis boss and then go through this? I don't know. They will very, very, very quickly realise for themselves that the time gating is going to absolutely crush it. It's not Mop Remix, and they'll just peace out. Added onto the fact that 3 days after launch, if they release Remix on October the 7th, on October the 10th, the biggest game of the year launches. Battlefield 6. People will ditch Remix in a heartbeat. Now, not everybody, but, you know, people will ditch Remix in a heartbeat. It'll be no questions asked. They'll be off to play BF6. They'll lose players to Battlefield 6 anyway. They'll absolutely lose players to Battlefield 6. They probably know they'll lose a lot of players to Battlefield 6. But that means those first 3 days are so important to get right. Hate playing also counts as engagement. Weirdly, it does, yeah. Weirdly, it does. People will uproar and then they'll do something like they do always. It'll be one of those where it'll be too late. It'll be too late because first impressions matter so much. First impressions are just humongous. I'm thinking the way I present this in feedback is not in terms of... I need to be very careful about this because Blizzard devs are clearly number-driven people. You have to be to develop a game, really. You got to remember that it's the devs that are behind the scenes. The devs are the ones that are twiddling the knobs and making the numbers do number things. And they're the ones fundamentally that, you know, data is significantly more important to them than just saying something feels like something. Oh my god, it died. Feelings have the problem that they are very subjective. Objective, sorry. You know, saying I feel like this does not translate very well to somebody else. Devs aren't number driven, it's the company and the management. Well, whoever's in... devs are naturally pretty number driven. Obviously, there's an element of creativity there as well, for sure. There has to be, but... they understand feedback in numerical form probably better than they do just saying, this feels bad. So many times I've seen Josh reply to questions saying, like, what do you mean by this? Like, can you try and quantify what feels bad? Because it's very difficult when somebody says, you know, the worst feedback you can possibly get is somebody that just says, I don't like this. Or why don't you like this? Well, I don't like this because it doesn't feel good. Okay. What doesn't feel good? You know? Saying that leveling feels bad is terrible feedback. Saying that leveling feels slow is slightly better feedback. But then if you know, do some... what I might have to do is try and get some numbers and look at this in a little bit more detail, because I'm pretty convinced, I'm going mostly from memory here, but I think Mop Remix took you about 8 hours to level. I was going to leave feedback in the new channel, but I'd probably get banned. Yeah. I think Mop took about 8 hours to level your first character. But it was understood that your first character was going to be the slog. And that was also before people figured it out, right? Your first character in Mop, you leveled in about 8 hours. Then if you did it again, because you got such an EXP boost from your cloak in Mop, you were probably able to do your second character in half the time, even if you didn't change how you leveled in any way, shape, or form. If you leveled your second character using an optimized leveling strategy, such as the mailbox trick, you were able to cut your leveling time down to like 2 to 3 hours quite comfortably. So, with some, your first character was considered slow at 8 hours, but your next characters could be significantly faster. Mop Remix doesn't have... Legion Remix is not going to have this mailbox shenanigans. Your first character is going to take you quite literally twice as long. E.g., as it stands at the moment, it took me over 12 hours to level my first character to 80. It was taking many people 15 hours plus to level their first character. So quite literally double the amount of time to level the first character. Additionally, your second character isn't going to be as fast because there isn't any clever use of game mechanics to speed it up via mailbox EXP shenanigans. Nor do you get anywhere near the same amount of bonus EXP. You might be lucky to get 50% EXP boost, 100% EXP boost if you've really blasted that first character. Definitely not the 200 to 300% EXP boost we were getting in MOP. Now, these are numbers that can easily be changed, but the point is as it's been presented, it's not very good. That is why leveling is slow. The irony is that this is a 90-day game mode where you're designed to complete an entire expansion worth of content, and it is significantly slower than even retail. I could make a new character load Chromie time and level through Legion to max level faster than I can on Remix. Even that alone should tell you that it's not good. Something is wrong. And even if you only take time into consideration, there's one thing that also needs to be considered is the experience during that time, right? And the reality is that Legion Remix isn't anywhere near as fun. And it's because the power, your power gain via or whilst leveling is logical, but just not fun. You start off absolute weak source. Like you start like 10 to 20 in Legion Remix was horrible. And that's the first experience you're going to get. It was horrible. 10 to 20 was gross. At level 20, you started getting your jewelry, which was 2 trinket slots, 2 ring slots, and a necklace. So that was 5 extra pieces of gear you were able to get once you hit level 20, which gave you a bump. It gave you a boost. It then meant that, like, from 20 to 50, you did start to feel as if you were progressively getting that little bit more powerful, but it still didn't take away the fact that getting to 20 was an absolute slog fiesta. Oh, I'd also point out that until level 20, 25, 30, you don't have your main artifact ability either. So you also don't have like a big special bonus cooldown to nuke things yet. It's just very, very poorly executed so far. So with it taking over twice as long to level your characters, while simultaneously being arguably half as enjoyable, it's, you know, exponentially worse than MOP Remix in nearly all ways. And it's really disappointing to see from somebody that had an absolute field day in MOP Remix. Oh, me pet's dead, shit. Don't know the direct way in Blizzard, of course, but I've seen the companies that I've worked that the plain feedback numbers don't reach the devs. And they go everything above, and the devs only get performance metrics. I don't know. Well, my point is that the devs are seeing the feedback firsthand because it's publicly shared information on Discords and on forums and that sort of stuff. So they're getting large quantities of feedback straight from the players, which should matter significantly more, honestly, than numbers from a spreadsheet in any way, shape, or form. The argument is that numbers on a spreadsheet is a good way to optimize things once you've got a solid system in place to begin with. The problem they'll have with Remix is they won't get any numbers on a spreadsheet because they haven't got the solid system to begin with. No, the numbers on the spreadsheet will just be terrible because the bounce rate, to use a techie term, is going to be absolutely ludicrous. The amount of people that will play Remix the first week, they'll get to level 15, think this is bullshit, and they'll peace out. Or it'll take them 3 days to get to level 25, and they'll be like, screw this, I'm going to go play Battlefield. It's not rocket science. The numbers crater after the first week or two, then they'll panic fix Remix and make it easier, and it might be good after that. Yeah, but we don't want to see development of these. We don't want to see it go that direction. That is a silver lining to a worst case scenario. Why is the WoW secret finding Discord the place he reacts on feedback? It's quite a niche place. You say it's quite a niche place. It has twice as many members as the official WoW Discord. So it's not that niche in the grand scheme of things. It's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, WoW Discords. So it's probably actually more sensible of a place than nearly anything else. But I do get what you mean. It's a bit jaunting for the main dev to be spending most of the time in the secret Discord that's not directly affiliated with Blizzard in any way, shape or form. I think this Josh dev is just a bit of a Discord junkie. I think he's in lots of different Discords for lots of different things. And he's just in the, he's just choosing to spend most of his time in the secret finding Discord because under normal circumstances, the feedback there is not too bad. Oh shit. I didn't do the map. Oh, balls. The reason I was here was to do the damn map. I got distracted. Oops. Well, I guess we're doing another delve then. Come back up here. Annoying to kill down there. To be fair, Blizzard are well known for their if it ain't broke, fix it mentality. They've done it so many times over the years. Take something that works and is well received and make it work worse for reasons. Oh, they are very well. Yeah, they. This is the thing. The greatest problem is that people just wanted the same game with a new map. They wanted the same game with a new map. Ooh. And an 11.2 pet. That can be caged and sold. I do the same mistake every week with the maps. Yeah, clearly I'm going to have to go do another 11 because I completely forgot. Put in cage. Only because I want to pay attention to that and look into that in a bit more detail in a minute. That's also annoying. Because this is my only key. Fantastic. I don't arguably need to open this box. But I'm going to anyway. Assembly of the Deeps rep. That's not what I wanted. Good trinket? I don't know. Don't think it is. Okay, I'm doing another delve then apparently. Either way, my TLDR for remix now. I'm gonna drop the topic now, otherwise it's gonna dominate my mental capacity for the rest of the day. The TLDR is that if Mr. Pandaria if Legion Remix launches in anywhere like the state that it's been presented in the PTR, it will be a failure. Sure, people will play it, some people will engage with it, but it will not be anywhere near the success that Mr. Pandaria Remix was. And it will also probably be the last time that they then do it, because it will leave such a poor taste in the mouth of people that we'll never get another remix mode because it will get canned. The development time, the numbers won't justify the development time of doing another one, so it will get axed. Kind of like I have the suspicion that Plunderstorm will be axed now. I'm not convinced they'll do another Plunderstorm because I don't think the second one was anywhere near as well received, because they chose to not do the one thing, once again, that everybody wanted, which was a new map. They got the opportunity to do the same game mode with the new map for Legion Remix, and they've decided to change the game. It's just a facepalm moment for me, honestly. It's just a complete facepalm moment. But, you know, it's their company. It's their decision. They're going to directly go against what most of the player feedback has been, then that's on them.
What brings you here? Good luck, friend. Asha Fela.
Ooh, we hit level 4.
Farewell.
What does that entail? Energy thruster schematic for your Delver's mana skimmer from Reno Jackson. Yeah. Absolutely don't care. You may now purchase 2 restored coffer keys per week. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Well, that solves a slight problem right now. I'll just buy a key. Where do we buy a key from? Unlock by progressing Season 3 Delver's Journey. Unlock by... Oh, you... Wait. You go from 0 keys to 2 keys? Oh. So you can't purchase a key at all until you've hit... Okay, sure. It's reset day. Relax. Nothing too stressful. I'm just going to go do Kriegville's Rest, whatever it entails. Channel the dark side. I don't have a key to open the box at the end of it, though. I really feel odd not having keys to do stuff this early on in the season. What can I do to quickly get that key? Let's go do the Ecodome. Go to the Ecodome. That's something we want to do this week at some point anyway, so I might as well do it now. I've got 79 fragments, yeah, but I need 100 to make a key. We'll just go do the Ecodome stuff. That'll give me a full key anyway.
The Shadow Guard continue their assault on
Some event at 30 might give you a key. Is Nightfall... I don't know. I'll just go do the Ecodome thing. Ecodome's fine. Know what we're doing with that.
Speak your mind.
I need to do 2 more things that will give me a thread as well. Maybe doing 2 more delves will give me 2 more threads anyway, which will mean we get our Rishi Raps maxed as well today. I think. Yeah. Light path. Oh, it means I can switch my brain off for 30 seconds and chat with you guys. It's the only reason I take flight paths these days. Don't fancy awakening the machine or the theatre troupe. They're on the list. I'm going to do the Eco Dome. It's the new content, isn't it? It gets us a pet, if nothing else. How's the doggo doing? Doggos are fine. She's, Poppy is, like, real terrorist mode right now.
There you are. Good.
Well, other than the fact that she's actually fast asleep right now. But there's a stick for scale. She's very much in terrorist mode right now. Chewing absolutely everything. You name it, she's nomming it. Other than that, she's all good. She has this slightly annoying habit of waking up at like 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning and like going absolutely bananas. Something that will
I swore an oath to restore my word.
I'd rather she didn't do, but either way.
I'm so glad you're here.
Bonnie Business. Vacuum up 20 bees. Not had that side quest yet.
Stay safe.
Do we not have the zoo? Do we not have the spinny quests this week? I guess we don't. Let's get the fishing out of the way real fast then. Return anima from a devourer assault. Oh, I've never bothered to do. Oh, that is one of the quests, isn't it? Seven hydrobites. Some honey vacuumed. Are we meant to have 4 quests? Have I missed? What have I missed here? Convinced we're meant to have 4 quests to do this, not 3. Maybe we'll finish it off with some bonus fishing at the end. I'm going to be honest, I clearly need to get the caffeine kicking in for this morning anyway. Otherwise, Ranthius will make far too much of an appearance today. I believe you get more quests after you do the campaign step. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's probably true, actually. Yeah, I've not kept up with the storyline out here yet. There's 7 of those. Bee business. Hoover up bees. Can there be any bees? Okay, there clearly can't be any bees then. Oh, you're telling me they have to be specific bees? Wait, what? Why does my bee vacuum not work? Oh, have I got to be in a very specific place for it? Well, you have your 20%. Yeah, wrong bees, okay. Wrong honeybees. Let's just go do this anima one. Back to that. I was looking forward to playing Legion Remix, but instead it feels like I'm playing retail with a bronze vendor. Yeah, that's one of the most... I saw that comment. That made me giggle. Because it's arguably even worse than that because it's slower than Remix right now. It's slower than retail. You have a bronze vendor, but it's at a cost to less fun and more time. It's kind of like, oh, okay. It's a default Blizzard Kiss Curse situation. The stuff they didn't show on the midnight reveal is crazy. They missed a good chance to get old players back. Yeah, there's quite a strong sentiment out there that they just kind of fluffed the launch. Like they've proper scuffed it because it was so poorly organized. Now, when I say they, we got to be slightly careful that we're not really talking about any specific individual here. They is a communal, a communal they. There's no doubt in my mind, and others have pointed this out too, but if you scrap your social media team a month before you launch an announcement, it's probably not going to go very well. But the counter argument to that is that the major decisions on how it was going to be launched were already set in place. You know, they were already scheduled to do everything at Gamescom anyway. It's not like that was, a decision that was made in the last 30 days. But logistically, it's been pretty poorly handled. Goes to show, BlizzCon is vitally important. BlizzCon, even though it's got its problems, is very, very important. Not doing BlizzCon is probably a cost, probably saves them money by not doing BlizzCon, but how much money are they leaving on the table by not selling their major cash cow product? And Blizzard and retail is major cash cow. I don't think it can be overstated how much of a cash cow it is. It is the money maker for Blizzard. A lot of their other IPs live off the fact that retail makes an absolutely disgusting amount of money. I mean, Classic, I think, fundamentally, Classic only exists because retail makes an absolute abundance of money. They don't need a BlizzCon for a reveal. They just need a single well-done video with a fireside chat and a concise article. Yeah, they don't need much, but my point here is that when they're at BlizzCon, when it's their own event, they handle everything themselves, and it's significantly more organized. Piggybacking off a completely separate company's event clearly doesn't work very well.
The great dragon, Breshenor, tears freely in and out of untethered space, devouring all that is left of our world. Bring its reign to an end.
Trying to. Need a group for it.
The great dragon, Breshenor, tears freely in and out of untethered space, devouring all that is left of our world.
Right, rip FPS for 2 minutes. It's probably the worst launch announcement I've seen from them. I don't think they'll do that again, but then again, this is Blizzard, so who knows. Oh, it's absolutely the softest launch I can remember. There has never been less hype for an expansion post-announcement than we have right now for Midnight. And that's clearest day by the fact that the token didn't flipping move. Clear as day. that the token basically has had like not changed in the slightest. That's a real huge indication that people have had absolutely no desire to pre-order. They couldn't even be bothered to wheel out Metzen for the launch. Well, everybody gets ill. There's the possibility that, you know, you just flip in. I don't know. You don't know. You don't know. We don't know why that panel was cancelled. I mean, he was due to be there. There's clearly a reason why he wasn't. It's kind of... It must be something pretty significant for him to have not been there. But I don't really like this mantra of that Metzen will save the day. He's one guy at the end of the day. Blizzard's a company made up of quite literally thousands of employees, I think, at this point. He's one guy. I also think the expansion's pretty slim. They must have moved a lot of resources for player housing. Yeah, it's hard to gauge, isn't it? It's hard to gauge, but I would question what if people were able to somehow magically pretend housing didn't exist. Would people be overly enthused with what is being offered as an expansion? I mean, it's very template. It's very absolutely everything we would kind of expect, but nothing more. Revamping the leveling is good, but that's been massively overdue, and I don't think a revamp to the leveling process really is an expansion level feature these days. This prey system, we've got literally no info about it yet. It could end up being really cool. It could end up being like a complete Delve 2.0 alternative world content. It could end up being really cool, or it could end up just being another one of those things that kind of looks good on paper, but the reality is it's not fun enough for people to bother. We don't know until we see it. I mean, I'm quite sure there was people that got excited for Warfronts when they announced them. You know, it's kind of one of those. It's until you see the content, until people get to actually play with it. This is why I'm really excited for the alpha now. Until people get to see what this stuff is about and what it all means. But I think there are so many people that share a similar sentiment that it could be cool. But maybe this is a sign that too many of the current player base have been burnt recently by poor decisions and are overly cautious to give them money ahead of time. You know, maybe the pushback on aggressive monetization before the expansion is already launched is starting to kick in. Maybe the negativity towards early access, maybe the negativity towards, you know, $90 instead of $50 for an expansion. Maybe it's all starting to come together. Because if Blizzard will take notice of anything, and if Microsoft will take notice of anything, it'll be that if their cash cow for some reason all of a sudden stops being a cash cow, then shit has to change, and has to change fast. 688 leather boots. Leather boots. What's this now? Week number 4, and I've not had a single piece of mail drop from... At this point, I'm almost convinced he doesn't have any mail on his loot table. If I had a druid, they'd be handy. I don't have a druid. Or not one that's leveled or that I care about. Okay, let's finish off some Eco Dome. Let's Let's we're all horribly jaded, aren't we? I think it's you know, I don't think we're jaded. I think it's just the fact that a lot of us have seen this so many times now. So many, like, even BFA babies, you know, even people that have actually only really played World of Warcraft within the last couple of expansions are now starting to see patterns emerge. So we'll see. We'll see. There is a hellishly large bit of curiosity in my mind, though, about what they're going to do with the crafting system. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Alpha can't come soon enough, if I'm honest. We got to get that alpha. We got to see it. We got to see what all of this means in practice. We've heard some good words. We've heard some not so good words. But if the Legion remix PTR has taught us anything, it's that what can sound good on paper doesn't necessarily translate when it's, you know, under your keyboard and, you know, doesn't necessarily translate. Catch a ball. Hello, catch a ball? What? Watch the ground. What? Yellow circle. If you miss the orb again, use the animal orb. Wait, what? So confused. What quest is this part of? This one. Throw the ball to a friendly animal. Oh, there we go. Does he play catch with us? Let's see. Oh, I've got to do this 10 times. Rooney. Drizzling Rose, welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a good reset day. Ah, yes, a yellow circle on sand. Let's make it really clear. Oh, I missed. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I can't get up there. Oh, that's cheating. I can't even get there. Game screwed me. You watch, that'll be an achievement for doing that 10 times in a row. $12.5 mil liquid now? Go on. Almost richer than me these days. Good effort, Rose. I hope you didn't take too much of a battering from that weird that weird card bug. Why they felt the need to nerf that 10 years after is beyond me. What a strange move.
Funding comes salvation.
You've done well with the slate backs. Will you do as well with the Thorntails? If we improve their numbers, we will need some of their astral essence to produce new ones. Procure it for me. Collect 10 Thorntail essences whilst phase diving in untethered space. That's an easy one then. Thorntails are known to hunt smaller creatures. If we're to increase their numbers, we should also increase the number of the lap bug population to compensate. Gather some of their astral essence. You can use the phase conduit to get into... so this is the same quest.
Our work has just
Okay.
begun.
Lost 1.3 million gold and 2 years of daily crafting in terms of mats. 1.3 million in cards already made and 60... Oh, had you just not vended the cards? Oh, God. It was nerfed to exactly 10%. Yeah, they've just shaved a 0 off the end, haven't they? Really weird. Oh, here we go. Here's another quest. Shrink and collect 10 slate-back roamers. That'll help for our weekly. I haven't totaled up my liquid gold, but my war bank doesn't have... I don't think my war bank even has 12.5 million in it right now. I have an awful lot of gold spread across other characters, but I don't... It's not that I don't count that, it's just I don't often tally it up. I think I've got somewhere in the region of about 30 to 35 million in liquid right now, but I don't know exactly. So I'm not actually poor. I'm just kind of poor by my standards. I felt poor by my standards since the end of Shadowlands, though. It was always going to be a way. It was always going to be the case. Shadowlands spoiled us. I do wonder, you know. I do wonder how, like, psychologically, how much that is, like, affect... Like, I've not made huge amounts of gold across either Dragonflight or the War Within, to be brutally honest. There are people that never played Shadowlands that have significantly more gold than even I did in my heyday, sort of thing. That goes to show just, like... Well, I make a lot of gold, but I also have quite expensive habits. But I have always kind of wondered whether Shadowlands spoiled me so much that anything less than open 5 million gold mailboxes every day just doesn't feel quite the same. Just doesn't feel as good. There was something unique about spending 4 million gold on materials every day and selling 5 million gold of stuff. And knowing that you were able to secure about a 20% margin on basically everything you touched. And it was that 20% margin that made spending 4 million on mats not that much of a risk. Don't you have an add-on that tallies it for you? Well, I mean, I use WoW thing, external website. Oh, put that on the auction house. I use WoW thing. But it's still, I don't totally trust it as a overly accurate number. I just use it as a guesstimation. Titan panel keeps track too. There's no real add-on that can do it very well for me these days because I've got all of my count spread over 100 plus characters across 5 different accounts. There's basically nothing out there that tracks it that accurately. Most of the solutions that work are sort of reliant on you basically having all of your gold on one account. And I don't like, it's a nice luxury, it's a luxurious position to be in that I know that the number is big enough that I don't really care. It doesn't matter. You tend to keep track of your gold total significantly more when you're either working towards a milestone or you're chasing down that next token, or your game time is expiring and so you need 20,000 more to like get your next month of playtime or something. You know, when you've got a certain milestone ahead of you, you tend to pay more attention to it. These days, I tend to do goal-making activities that I consider fun, for as long as I consider them to be fun, and as long as they at least make me a little bit of gold, I'll do them for as long as they're also fun. But it also means I can completely ignore anything that I don't consider fun, regardless of how lucrative it is. And I can also spend my time doing things that are not only fun, but also cost quite a bit of gold, such as leveling up all of the professions for arbitrary reasons, such as I just want all of the professions leveled. Which is why I'm kind of lazy. I don't even buy huge amounts of tokens when they're cheap at the beginning of expansions and stuff anymore either. I just let my game time elapse, and when my client says, "Would you like to buy another month of game time?" I just click the yes button, and it takes the gold off the accounts. This is also partly one of the reasons why I can't keep track of the gold very well, because once a month it will take a small amount off every single one of my characters, and unless I log back into that character, the value that an add-on or a third-party website or something has is often incorrect. So maybe what these add-ons and stuff showcase to me is kind of like a high estimation of how much gold I actually have, but in reality it could often be a little bit less than that. Do what's fun. Well, within mats and rock bottom prices, I would argue the opposite. I would say the materials are as high as they probably now will ever be. They're not at the highest they have ever been, but they are definitely as high as they will ever be. Without something ludicrous changing. There's no real distinct reason why the materials will go in any direction other than down right now. Got 35 mil at the moment with only the one single account, but our bank's full of old world mats getting ready for player housing. Spent a few mil in there. This is another reason why I don't pay that much attention to my overall goal total. Because more so than ever, a lot of my, should we call it wealth rather than gold, is in items. This cross-realm setup that we've been building over the last couple of months is where, for as long as I am consistent with relisting these auctions, I will steadily sell stuff periodically. And everything I sell, I am selling at a profit from what I bought it, for the most part at least anyway. So it's cash in the bank. But it's, it's like a billionaire having stocks in a company. They can't go to the supermarket and buy their groceries with those stocks, but it's still in their portfolio of wealth. Warband Miser is my go-to for tracking the gold. I like that add-on. Yeah, I use that add-on a lot. I do use that so that periodically when I'm like shuffling stock around on my cross-realm flippers, that every character always has like some seed money to buy stuff with. I keep it at just 100,000 gold per character, just so that there's always enough for me to buy something. And it means any profits they make by selling stuff goes back into the war bank. I do like that little add-on quite a lot, actually. Blasphemites high, though. They were 800 gold a piece this morning. Jesus, I sold like probably 3,000 of them last week at about 400 gold a piece. That sounds like a reset because it's reset day. Probably won't stay at that price for long.
Everything I've done has been for Karesh.
Right, we've got ourselves some fox
What is
juice.
more
We've got
valuable
ourselves some
than
bug
home?
juice. Where are we going from here?
I must protect my investments. My fortune for the world that was.
Eau de Foxy. Been sniffing around the oasis and I've whipped up a batch of pheromones for those thorntails out there. Can you give them a good dose for me? Douse 8 regal thorntails in pheromones. Okay, got to get their mojo going.
Oh, good. I could use your help.
Our bees have been marvellous at cultivating the local flora. Some of the plants have been seen almost explosive growth. However, the lap bugs have become entangled in their roots. I've been untangling them all morning. Could you lend a hand? Detangle 10 stuck lap bugs. Okay, sure. Oh, leave untethered space. I didn't realise I still was. Hello from the office, by the way. Living dangerously. Oh my god. In the office? That is dangerous. By the way, Gonson, I love the spreadsheet you made for thaumaturgy. There's some good resources out there if you dig. Definitely some good resources. No one is breaking my streak. I'll try not to. I don't break people's streaks deliberately. Forewarning for anybody that is concerned about their streak, there is a strong chance we'll be streaming again this evening, as it is a Wednesday. And I do try my best to do a double stream on a Wednesday. Gives me an opportunity to say hello to some of the people that aren't able to come say hi during my clearly anti-social streaming times. That is puppy dependent. The wife is in the office as well today, so I'm on total house duty, which depending on when the wife gets home and can give me an opportunity to not be on total dog duty. Might change my plan slightly, but we'll see. The alternative is I spend a bit of time this evening and do a remix video. Because I think I can probably get a little bit more traction with a remix video than just talking about it passively on stream. He's a fox. You are very regal, aren't you? But you've been pheromoned. Okay, right, you go do some boning. Isn't that the plan? Great. Is all of this counting towards this? I think. I think it is it? You would think that all of the campaign quests would also contribute towards the weekly thing, but maybe not. Because that would almost be smart, wouldn't it? So hard not to click the button I used to click make pigment. I've been doing cards for like 12 years. It's hard to stop. Yeah, old habits. Old habits. What's twinkly there that's not twinkly anymore? I just think it's a very strange very strange thing to have done like 10 years after the content was launched. Saw a bit of the Taliesin and Levitel WoW stuff. Looks like they built some sort of a street with individual houses within their house. I think the space of player-created content is going to be interesting. They're going to need to add more tools for triggering events, sounds, and effects, etc. Could see it going the way of Minecraft player-generated content if they want to go that way. I've never played it, and it doesn't really feel like my sort of thing. And if you ignore all of the negativity around it, I think taking some pages out of the Roblox book is kind of the way they could go with this sort of stuff. And you're right that the more player-driven content, I mean that you know, it's basic at that point. It's a completely unlimited, untapped market of entertainment, isn't it? If Blizzard can give people the tools to create themselves, then it takes the emphasis off them having to create everything. This is why games that like heavily adopt a modding scene historically have done very, very well. Some of my favorite games of all time have had some very heavy modding scenes. You mentioned Minecraft. Minecraft obviously is a huge one there. It's a fundamental sandbox experience to begin with, but allowing modders to come along and create fully custom servers and stuff has literally kept that franchise alive. And not only has it kept that franchise alive, it you know, it's almost the lifeblood of that franchise these days. Now, I'm not saying World of Warcraft needs to go to that degree, but World of Warcraft has pretty much for the last 20 years been dev-only created. There has been very, very little, very few avenues for creativity from the community, other than, you know, putting on guilds or maybe doing the odd event or something along those lines. The opportunities are very slim. Final Fantasy has done a much better job of it. And that, I wonder how much Blizzard has looked at the success of Final Fantasy from a community-driven events kind of thing. And basically said, we would like a bit of that, you know. Final Fantasy also clearly didn't do it perfectly. Their player housing is a little bit more questionable to some for the fact that if your subscription lapses, you lose your house, which is it's going to be hard for somebody to get behind that unless they are an absolute lifer for your game. But WoW has lifers, lots of them. Now, they're not going that route, but still doesn't take away the fact that this player-created stuff would be huge. I've said for ages, player housing is so important. So important they get player housing right. Can't be that hard to give players the tools to create races, gauntlets, etc. Think of the Undermine car. Why can't players make their own Undermine racetracks and stuff? There's absolutely room for that, yeah. Absolutely. Some mods are massive, like adding entire maps and stuff. Well, there's part of me that I know this is a bit of an unspoken area, but like the WoW clearly took the private server situation with Classic and were like, we're going to do it ourselves. And look how successful that has been. Now, I don't pay all that much attention to any private server related stuff because I can't comfortably talk about it, showcase it. I made the decision to be a little bit too in bed with Blizzard to go flaunting private server stuff. So at least in that regards, I'm not stupid enough to start going exploring private servers whilst also expecting to still be an official Blizzard partner. But the private server landscape is still thriving, by the way. Like, it's still absolutely thriving. And they are clearly... It's the equivalent of letting people play with mods, isn't it? Some of the stuff they come up with, some of the stuff they design, some of the new zones, some of the new game modes, some of the new gameplay loops, some of the new, player experiences. Annoyingly, some of the pay-to-win aspects of these private servers are very creative. And that is a similar experience to letting players have mods on an official level. Player housing is arguably the first step in that sort of direction, into letting players create environments within the game themselves, which can then be shared with others. This could be part of the big 10-year Blizzard plan. We don't know. But, this is step one. Maybe there's more steps to come. Maybe this is how they foresee making World of Warcraft last another 20 years. But then again, if they keep doing remarkably stupid things that are directly against what the player base is telling them, then, they're shooting themselves in the foot. But as long as they go 2 steps forward and only 1 step back, they'll be fine. That means they can have some fuck ups. They can make some bad decisions, as long as most of the decisions end up being good ones. I don't know about you though, but I am kind of bored about taking photos of flipping animals though. There seems to be, every week I seem to be taking more photos of animals all of a sudden. What happened to my Nessingware requests where I got to kill a bunch of animals? Why am I now photographing them all the time? Death, murder, destruction. Punch 10 horses? Yeah. Go and castrate 12 goats. Mix it up a bit. Grew up with Gary's mod. I can't wait to play with clipping props into each other. I mean, the dick statues are going to be outrageous. Reddit is just going to be full of cocks. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that as soon as player housing comes out, people will start clipping all sorts of things into all other sorts of things, and will start making constructions that are definitely not safe for work. Because ultimately, a lot of the WoW player base, we are just very childish. Yard space has been confirmed. Yeah, forget garden gnomes.
You can't beat the smell of fresh pine in a breeze.
Oh, good. I could use your help.
Reddit is always full of cocks. I mean, that is 50% of Reddit at the best of times, but yeah. Nice big garden cock and balls, yeah. Doesn't matter how old I'll be, drawing dicks will never not be funny. I've been working together to see what we can do to help the lapbugs. It seems their original food source did not make it through the collapse of Koresh. Do you think you might be able to gather some prickle blooms and lustrous conkers, put together a little platter for them? Collect 7 chopped oasis plant cuttings and then place 3 plant platters.
If you find anything
It's almost a
interesting,
tongue
let me
twister,
know.
that one. Kind of got sidelined doing this, didn't I? This wasn't on my to-do list, really, was it? Although I've ended up doing it anyway. Oasis plant. Tell you what though, when the alpha does come out, the flipping info dump that's going to happen soon as alpha launches is going to be wild. It's going to be a week to pay attention to, I can tell you that much for a fact. I interestingly think though that because an alpha to midnight is presumably also going to include housing, do we think that we will see housing or an 11.2.7 PTR inclusive of housing before we see the alpha? Because the alpha is going to give the game away anyway, isn't it, really? I'm not saying they'll launch housing before the alpha. Housing's coming in December. It's almost proven fact at this point, but does the pre-order say anything? No. New transmog UI looks great. Love the different outfits based on your activities in the game. That's a good area for player feedback as well, isn't it? Like, because Blizzard will clearly come along and be like, oh, well, maybe you want an outfit in your house, and you want an outfit in a dungeon, and you want a different outfit in a raid. Players will come up with other interesting scenarios where they'd like different outfits. You know, I want a Goldshire Inn outfit, for example. Yeah, decor items are going to be implemented in 11.2.7, so players will be able to start collecting them, but you won't be able to build your house unless you have pre-purchased Midnight and have access to housing early access, which is available to anybody that pre-orders. But so, with 11.2.7, you know, decor will go live. That's also simultaneously the point where I would sort of expect recipes and profession stuff to come in as well. So we'll have access to all of that before midnight. But of course, a midnight alpha is going to be under the assumption that all of that content is already out. So if we end up with alpha turning up before we even get like a PTR for housing, alpha might actually end up being like the the first look at housing for a lot of players. See, now this is better. We're hunting bugs now. Why I needed a bonus pet to hunt them, why my own pet couldn't hunt them, I don't know, but clearly didn't read the quest text. My system drive reached 0 bytes free yesterday. Chrome forgot all cookies, so I have to log in everywhere again, and it's all in light mode. Dig out the sunglasses. Oh dear. How did you manage to let your system drive hit 0? This is why my Windows install is on a dedicated drive that I don't install anything on. Everything else gets installed on a separate drive. Physical drive as well. I don't have any backup or redundancy for Windows, but it also means if Windows has a heart attack and corrupts, then I don't lose anything else with it. Do you think housing decor item recipes will include some materials that already exist in the game? Like crocodile fur for a carpet or something? Well, yeah, we already know that past expansion professions are going to have access to decor crafted items, and they will majoritively use existing items in the game to craft them. This is why the speculation on past expansion materials is rampant right now.
I'm so glad you're here. The world is wild. Stay safe.
I hope you like to
There is also going to be lumber in some way, shape or form added to the game. Now, we still don't know if it's going to be attached to... If gathering said lumber is going to be attached to a profession in any way, shape or form. They could make it so that, you know, herbalists can also gather wood, or miners can also gather wood, or they could make it generic, that there are just trees out in the world that you click on and you get some materials, and it's not correlated to a profession at all. Or they could do the interesting thing and actually make it a damn profession, but I don't think they're going to do that. Need to catch balls again. Catch a ball 10 times whilst playing with your Thorntail this time. Okay. Wasn't overly interesting the first time I did it. Didn't they say it was going to become a secondary profession? I heard that somewhere. Well, the only thing they have said officially is that there is not going to be a new crafting profession. Now, they did clearly state the word crafting. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't going to be a new secondary or even gathering profession. But of course, that is also just speculation. Hence why we need an alpha. But it can't be far off. It cannot be far off. Alpha has to turn up either next week or the week after. I can't see any other option, really. Is alpha public? You can opt in to both the beta and the alpha in one go. If you have pre-purchased the Epic Edition, you get access to the beta by default. But I would still recommend most people go to... Let me see if I can find the link real quick. there is the option on the Midnight homepage to opt into the beta. Now, in theory, opting into the beta will also opt you in for access to the alpha as well. Places to the alpha are significantly more limited.
I swore an oath to restore
And
the
a
world.
good percentage of alpha is invite only.
Our work has
In terms of
begun.
the creators, streamers tend to get invites to the alpha. But there is a substantial amount of the public that does also get sent at random invites. But it's a much smaller pool of invites than what the beta will be. Wait, kill Thorntail? Now we got to kill you? Okay, sure. I mean, are creators able to share the content around alpha, or is it under NDA? Well, there is a they have what's called friends and family, which is internal alpha, which is running right now, which is under NDA. And then there's the public alpha, which if you get an invite to, you're free to stream it, you're free to make videos on it, you're free to talk,
With funding
there's
comes
no NDA
foundation.
for it. But the internal alpha that's going on right now, if you have access to that, you're under NDA. Which I'm not part of, by the way, just for clarity. I'm still in the category of people that hope to get an invite to the public alpha. I didn't get access to it for the War Within, so I'm not 100% holding my breath, but by being an official Blizzard partner, I think I stand a slightly better chance. But we will see. We will see, we will see. If you're in the internal alpha, are you even allowed to say that you're in the internal alpha? I don't know. I haven't seen the NDA. You didn't perform well enough when you were in bed with Blizz last time, I see. No pressure, bro. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. I had a lapse in concentration, clearly. Happens to the best of us. Why did I fly halfway and not all the way? Isn't there a... Oh, there is a zoom thing, but it's up that way. Oh well. Our Vigor will carry us. God, I can't wait for Vigor to fuck off. I'm looking forward to that change. I'm hoping that's a change I didn't dream and is actually a change. This is another thing with not having, like, solidified official announcements of things via blog posts and via, like, some sort of organized system. I entirely cannot remember what information was legit, was leak season rubbish, was, like... and I'm one of the ones that's meant to be relaying this information to you guys. And I am flipping confused as all hell. Oh, Arcane Monger. This is actually the dude that I need to kill. Where are you? I don't think I've actually killed this dude ever. This might complete my kill all of the rares achievement. They should have just done a direct show with an invite-only crowd. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Oh. Did it die? Did it not die? Apparently it's still alive. Oh, there we go. It got reset for some reason. Do you need the warrant quest to get credit for this kill? I don't think that's how it worked, did it? I don't think that's how it was meant to work, at least. Wait, why does it fuck off at like 0.5%? What are you doing? Oh. Oh. Sure. You're gonna magically come back again? You are gonna magically come back again. The fuck is up with this? I'm not stupidly in a raid group or something random, am I? No? Oh, fuck this noise. Not wrestling with stupid games. Poor Holly went out, put on a brave face, but there was zero crowd noise either in person or in the VOD. They could have at least added a laughter track, yeah. They could have at least.
I offer only the finest.
Convince people to invest in the Oasis. Okay. What do we got here? Gather around. Shout out to the patrons of Tazavesh. Gather them to your talk about the Oasis and the Lapbugs.
For you, I offer
Gather round, gather round. Look how cute it is. Show off the Lapbug.
all goods
Show their
and
cuteness.
services for sale.
People definitely want to adopt one, surely. Suggest the crowd donate
Negotiable.
money! And then tell them to come to the Oasis today. Okay, that was as simple as just press each button once.
May I tempt you with my wares?
Alright.
For you, I
Now we got all
offer
Venari's
only the
brothers and
finest.
sisters involved. We can head back. Oh, I should probably pick up the warrant quest for the week at least, shouldn't I? Why has this got thing on it? I don't know.
Wars are made up. So is money. I know this. I'll still put you in a cage if you step out
Chatter
of line.
pulse this week. How we doing, Mr. Norton? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Panel with Ian, I didn't even watch because the sound was terrible. I'm very aware there's probably huge chunks of content that I've completely missed due to not knowing what or where or when it's being posted.
My investment.
And at the end of the day, like,
Our work has
when even someone like Wowhead has and still is really struggling to collate all of the information in a somewhat sensible fashion, what chance does any regular individual have? The Green Hills of Stranglethorn, signed by Hemmett Nessingwary, to my favourite fan Hemmett. Our first day went as well as one can expect first days to go. Most of our time was preoccupied with making the necessary arrangements to establish a base camp. I located an ideal setting by a freshwater river inlet. Judging by the old abandoned docks nearby, this site was inhabited some time ago. As for the original inhabitants, only time can tell that tale. For this expedition, I've assembled Jack Ruak and Sir S.J. Urgundin, along with my trusty servant Barnil Stonepot. I fought alongside Ajax's father in many battles in defense of the Alliance. Seeing her grow is quite special. Her father schooled her well in the ways of weaponry. Her skill with a bow makes me wonder if there is elven blood running through those veins. I'm not reading all 30 pages. Books on the table. Wait, now who are we photographing? We're doing more photos. Say cheese. Wait, what? Oh. Ah, it's got a pirate hat on. Cheese. Any juicy vault goodness? I've got a set helm on the hero track waiting for me in the vault. I've got massively distracted by going out and trying to get keys so I can go do some more delves. Not that I really need the keys, but it feels awkward this early in the season leaving the boxes untouched.
May your feet find good trails.
And I've accidentally ended up doing the Ecodome stuff. So once we do another delve, we'll do the map. We'll get our hero piece from the map. And that will help decide exactly what we take out from the vault. Very, very, very likely we will take that set helm from the vault, but I want to see what we get from our delve first. Yeah, squirrels. Annoyingly already got a hero helm, but can't complain. Well, don't forget it's second catalyst week this week, so you can always convert something if you've got something that clashes. Oh, 99 on the Ecodome. Doing with these? Are we legitimately taking more photos of these pissing things? Oh god, these photos of these became a world quest. Gotta be shitting me. Set held 2 today, 3 of 4 set now, annoyingly. Yeah, I am really concerned I'm going to be in the same spot, but that should hopefully mean that we can fix that problem next week. Getting the 4th piece, we can probably catalyst something into it if needed. Funniest thing I've read today.
Once again, my expectations for you have been exceeded.
Bad Shocker Man plots his own genital mutilation to frame rival in... I am not opening that on stream. No fucking way am I opening that on stream. Thanks though, Mr. Goldson. Oh, it wasn't even Goldson. Why did I assume that came from Goldson? It's because your name's Yellow. Absolutely no way I'm opening that on stream. I don't know why I assumed that was Goldson. Oh, I don't know what that says about my impression of him. Just haven't been feeling like logging in and actually playing. I mean, I knew very quickly that Season 3 has been a mid-patch at best.
I must protect my investment.
I don't mind too much. Let's open our wiggly chest. What do we get from the wiggly chest? We got a shimmering inch shifter. Shimmering inch shifter. Cage it up. I'd rather sell them now for like 10, 15k, whatever they are. Buy them back in the future. That has actually given us the key that we were kind of looking for this entire time. And we've gained enough coffer key shards to make a second key as well. It's nice. Do I continue doing
If you find anything interesting, let me
these
know.
things? Are we off to Moldraxxus? Somebody was saying there's an item that's got an incredibly low drop rate on this now. Mythic Plus mount is goated though, gotta do that. I don't even know what it is. Moldraxxus is crazy, took an hour to get them. Fuck that for a laugh then. Do that tomorrow. Do that tomorrow. I'm messing around with that then if that's the case. Peace out of that one. Enable war mode, do in 2 minutes. Scarlet Void Flyer. Oh, this thing. Isn't the Epic Edition pre-order have just a straight reskin of that? Wasn't there some controversy about this recently because it's a no? What am I thinking of then? I don't know. Right, we'll put war mode on then. I'll take 2Lock's word for it that we can bang it out nice and quick if we put war mode on. Shit, that wasn't actually even where we were meant to go, was it?
Continue their assault on Tazavesh. We need your help to...
Oh, no. What I'm getting confused is that the Drake in the pre-order, where is it? Can I not even... Okay, I can't see that in any bigger detail. One of these is literally a... It's not even a unique mount. It's once again just a reskin of a mount from BFA. A reasonably rare mount from BFA, all the same, but it's exactly the same mount with a hat on. And now they're selling it to you for like $40. So not even the store mounts, or not even the real money mounts are now like even unique. Even they're just like, oh, we'll take this mount from a period of time which we hope people have forgotten about. I'd buy a mount with a fedora on. Well, yeah, I'm sure, yeah. Sure people would. I'd show you the mount I'm talking about, but I haven't pre-ordered the expansion, so... Alright, it's going to take us a second to fly there, so I'm going to grab a drink real quick while we do it. There's a puppy right behind me. Let's not step on her. There's one puppy at least. There is a second puppy. Here. This is the one I accidentally kick about 10 times a stream. And there is a third puppy dog under the chair there that you can't really see. You monster. Big foot warmer, yeah. He's a big foot warmer. And my feet for all of you absolute savages. Right. What we doing here then?
I always have time for my brightest.
What's the temperature outside at your place right now?
Farewell.
No idea. Warm enough that I didn't bother with a jacket when I went out earlier. 17? 17 degrees right now.
Why do I feel hollow?
Oh shit, I've completely not been listening to reading any of these.
Keep
Whoops.
an open mind.
Plague samples. It's weird to see people sat in hoodie and jeans when I've got shorts and t-shirt when it's 35 outside. Yeah, it's not 35 outside anymore. It is technically t-shirt weather, I'll give you that, but it's I kind of live in hoodies just from a comfort perspective. They're so calm, even the puppy, when you stream. Do you take them out for a big walk beforehand? Yeah, so our morning routine is, or my morning routine is like, yes, remove energy from them so that I can get like a good 3 or 4 hours streaming without too much chaos. So yes. Yeah, they get their, probably their main walk of the day is in the morning. They get a walk in the evening as well, but it's usually a little bit of a shorter adventure. And if anything, it's just routine for them, really. The older dogs especially have just kind of got into the routine that, you know, we go out on a walk, they get fed. Then it's chill time while I stream and do my thing. And then later on in the afternoon, they go out on another walk and we do playtime in the garden and whatever. So they're, you know, it's just routine. How we doing, Pack B? Welcome in. Oh, I've got really something stuck in my throat. I don't know what it is. Will you do hikes in the winter with the doggos? Yeah, I mean, they're, being Lapland dogs, they are literally designed for the cold weather. So there's, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as, say, doing hikes, but there is no real change to the schedule, even when it's like -20. They still get their outdoor time and their walks and whatever. And their coat means they are still absolutely more than comfortable being outside in those sorts of temperatures.
You will fuel our rituals.
Technically, now there's only 2 breeds of dogs that can technically live outside all year round. Huskies and Lapland dogs, and that's because of their fur coat. That said, you can't, that's only if the dog from a young age grows up by living outside 24 hours a day, because they do still have to prepare their coat for it. But legally, there's only 2 breeds of dogs that can stay outdoors all year round. And up north in Finland, it's very common for that to be the case, that like the Lapland dogs, which are also like the reindeer herding dogs, will be outside all year round. They live outside. Where's this last plague sample? Go. Ransaw essences. Kill Ransaw enemies around this area. Well, I've been killing a bunch of stuff and I've not had a single one of those yet. So what's this about then? What's the crack with this? No. These things? No. How am I meant to be killing here? Lord and consuming ransom. I've not seen any of these. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I really don't mean to cough down the mic all the time. Sometimes it catches me by surprise. Are these the things that have an absolutely dog doo-doo respawn rate and why people are lurking, even in war mode? Clearly, because I need 15 essences and I've not seen a single one yet. Oh, it's these little globbity-blobbity things. Globbity-bobbity doodahs. Okay. At least I know what they look like now. This is a switch flying mode situation. Oh, I don't have switch flying mode on my toolbar. Probably for good reason. Where is it? Oh, Jesus. Which flipping button is it? None of these buttons? Oh, switch flight style. There we go. Let's just put that down there. This quest will bump engagement, more playtime, more activities on forums, more social media posts. It sure will. I'm also deliberately not going to nuke them because give other players a chance to come and see it. That said, when they've only got 4 million health, it's kind of not. It's not very easy to not two-tap them. Kill them faster, respawn faster, right? Surely. Wow, that's Jesus. That's only 4. Flipping hell. Apparently they can spawn all around here, but it doesn't look like they do, does it? Ah, this is one of those quests that doing it now is a complete and utter waste of time. Wondering if you'll ever do IRL streams with the doggers out in the snow in some forest. It's not really my thing, but never say never. IRL streaming ends up requiring an unnecessary amount of gear and stuff. I mean, there is always the opportunity to do it off my phone sort of thing, but it's a bit scuffed at that point, isn't it? Don't waste time flying around where Zygor says, just stay in the main place. That's how I got them in the end. Is that the trick, is it? Yeah, I have kind of noticed that round this slime pool seems to be basically it. That wasn't even a flipping. Freedom. This is part of the Eco Dome quest, by the way, for people that are confused. But in true fashion, everybody's going and doing this today, and there's mobs who do not hyperspawn. This, boys and girls, is the reason why hyperspawn as a technology exists. So that you don't have these bottlenecks where people are all trying to do the same quest at the same time. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we can switch flight mode again, can't we? Back to proper flying. They should add mount equipment for mechanical ones. Hover engine, so you can hover, move vertically while skyriding.
Good to see you.
There's lots of quality of life improvements they could add, but sometimes I kind of wonder if they deliberately gimp certain aspects of the game so that they can make it better in the future and call it content.
Thank you again.
I'm almost convinced of it, you know.
Of your help.
Boom. Headshot. I've not been reading the quest text, meaning I have absolutely no idea what this quest line has got anything to do with the Eco Dome. I accidentally did the first 3 quests without reading them, and I've kind of given up reading them after.
Created today.
Anti-plague.
Study hard.
Calming the necro rays. Calm yourself, necro rays. Relax. It's just a video game.
Do you hear them?
Did they actually add new equipment for the mounts after those few bits on the introduction?
And I think getting
Not really. It was a
something-
Dragonflight thing, wasn't it? They're ditching Valor, Vigor even in Midnight. So I mean, they're streamlining the process more and more and more. I mean, they gave us the old mount equipment slot way back in the day, and then they did like 3 things for it, and then never did anything with it ever again.
What is more valuable than home?
Right, I might finish the rest of this at another point. Like, this quest line is not particularly interesting at the moment. What I can do now, though, is go do another one of the delves. 3 Anger's Eyes and 10 Lacestrite ore. Whoopty frig. What do I want those for? Okay. Let's go do another delve. Slotted water walking and forgot about it. Yep. I still like the plain Strider mount. That was such a cool mount back in the day. Clearly not Longboy level cool, but parachutes on a few. Yeah, I think if you did Battlegrounds, you were probably equipping parachutes, weren't you?
I understand your frustration, Gaora.
Oh, let's turn war mode off before that gets too problematic. Now we can go do... We'll just go do Creevil's Rest. Let's do that one. Right. After a grand total of 2.5 hours, I'm now off to do the thing I should have done within the first 20 minutes today. Just do an 11, do map, get hero gear, empty vault. I kind of looked at the vault. I went and did a delve, completely forgot to get my map. So, hence we were on this mini journey to go and do another one.
And pillaging Morning Rise again. Please, stop them in any way you can.
Right, brand new brand things. Might as well gather. One thing I should double check is that he's still... Yeah, he's still good. Level 91. Pick up these. No reason not to get a buff, I suppose. Oh, hang on, this debuff is chipping away at my health. We have the well-fed buff, we do. Right, let's put a candle down. Oh, Wow, this debuff goes away so goddamn fast. Okay. And I don't need to worry too much about being in the darkness then, really. What are we actually meant to be doing? Just kill things? Okay, we can kill things. Another one down here, kill this lot. Oh yeah, shit, this is an 11, isn't it? I'm just like, oh yeah, let's just YOLO the whole thing. Nearly died on the first pack. How stupid would that be? Okay, we can't use the... They're not Wave Riders this season, are they? What are they? Shrieking Quartz. We can't use these until we're halfway through. So we've got to get to the save point at least. Then we need to find a good spot to summon in the Nemesis. Get our map. Get our bonus piece of loot from the end of it. Pick up me candles, because I'll probably never have enough of the damn things. Yeah, I could actually do with having... I'm going to have to pull an absolute flipping miracle. In fact, it's not that much of a miracle, is it? Where would we need a hero piece to drop? We've got a helm in the... We've got a helm... I need shoulders or chest. If my hero piece from this map can be shoulders or chest, please, Blizzard, I would very much appreciate it. If it's shoulders or chest, we get our 4 set today. Otherwise, we might have to wait till next week for our 4 set. Shoulders or chest from this would be absolutely wonderful. How many RNG gods do we have to praise to get shoulders or chest hero piece from this map? Drag this dude this way. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, you know. I have not yet been sent one single screenshot of somebody saying, haha, Manthe died in the delve. Which I'm quite thankful for, because I was expecting that to be a thing. Some people were getting real bent out of shape, you know, about the fact that they're naming and shaming people's failures in the delves. Some people got real bent out of shape about that. And I'm like, come on, live a little. Like, live a little. Christ. It's a game. Easily solved, don't fail. Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's just like people were getting better. Oh, you can't. You. Why am I seeing other people's deaths in my? Why are you naming and shit? It's like, come on. Some people are too soft these days.
Here's your take of the spoils.
And you just found out from reading that that remix thread that the lead dev that created Mop Remix and the first iteration of Plunderstorm has left. Explains a lot. Yeah. Yeah. It does. And I hate to, I don't like singling out individual developers, but there is also an element of if you are the lead on a project, part of your responsibility as being the lead in that project is to take on your shoulders any negative criticism of that project. And this Josh character doesn't seem very... Whilst he has made some good efforts, and credit where credit is due, he's made more effort than is actually probably required of him to take feedback from players and try and, you know, engage in conversation with players regarding the feedback. He's still had the very, very Blizzard approach to things of not really ever actually answering anybody's question. And part of that is clear that there are lots of things he probably can't say. And like I said, I don't particularly like singling out individual devs, but if you're the lead on a project, the responsibility is yours to take the feedback on board and be open and honest with people. That's all people want. You know, a level of communication and a touch of honesty from time to time. And I don't feel like I get that from him.
Look around. There's treasure here.
Which is why I'm not overly convinced. I mean, it's clear and obvious that the design philosophy behind Legion and MOP is different. And I'm not overly convinced they're going to make any conservative effort to change it in the direction that the player base seems to so desperately want. I'm pretty sure they're going to do their own thing. They're going to power forward and do it the Blizzard way. Which will likely be cause huge amounts of controversy in week 1, knee-jerk reaction hotfix a bunch of stuff, and leave the whole event feeling just kind of meh. Did you see the latest ban wave on Chinese servers? They've named all the banned players as well. And I did see that, yeah. I did see that. They don't fuck about, do they? They don't fuck about. This was quite funny. If they can put your name in a delve, why the hell is your character still referred to as champion? Yeah. Even FIFA, right? Even a game like FIFA. FIFA's career mode has a huge, great, big, long list of names which you can assign as a nickname. And every single name on that list, and there's probably 1,000 names on this list, has been voice acted so that the voice acting in FIFA career mode of all dumb shit can still call you by your name. even if it's what you consider your nickname that you choose. That's coming from fucking FIFA. If, you know? Racing games have been doing that for the longest time. Yeah. Doesn't have to be your actual character name, but it should at least allow you to pick a nickname, and who knows? They might actually be able to have a list long enough that it does genuinely cover most people. I mean, the English version of the client could have, you know, the top 500 Western names for both males and, sorry, body type 1s and body type 2s. It's not outside the realm of possibility. And then have whoever does the voice acting for Bran, like, pick those names out. I don't know, whatever. There's a chest over there. Oh shit, have I gone past the halfway point? Am I going to accidentally forget to do my map again if I'm not careful? Which is the whole reason we're here in the first place. Oh, ouch. 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 Flipping hell. Stun locked and then nuked. Fucking hell's going on here? That was a bit spicy, wasn't it? Tier 8 delve with the map doesn't give hero loot. I don't know. I've only ever done my map on an 11. Because it, honestly, I would do it on 11 also because it gives you gilded. It gives you 10 extra gilded on an 11 as well. I don't know. I've only ever done 11s with the map. Even if you have to slow and steady it, just do an 11. I don't remember doing a single quest past the starter zone in Panda Remix. I quite enjoyed grinding dungeons and raids, but I don't think that's really going to be an option in Legion. There's so many subtleties. There's so many subtleties about why Remix in its current state won't work the same way as Remix. As Miss Pandaria Remix. There's so many subtleties to it that are not going to, my worry is that these are subtleties that Blizzard isn't going to really pay attention to. But they're subtle things that make a big impact overall. For example, a prime example of this is, flipping out, we've got to get paint on the go here. A prime example of this, right? Let me see if I can show this in a bit of detail. If we have, we're going to rough this out. If you have power, if you have power and you have like item level down here, right? Let's say this is like level 70. Level 70 or 80, dependent, right? In let's pick orange for Pandaria. In Panda Remix, your power verse level and item level looked a little bit something like this. So you started off, actually let's just put like power at 100% here. We can all agree that like up here when you've got like 400+% power on stuff, this is where you like fall into the category of god tier mode, right? In Panda Remix, if we have orange as Panda Remix, you started off at low level absolutely broken level OP, right? You were god tier, hence why people were making level 20 twinks. The first, you started off ludicrously overpowered. You were one-shotting everything. Luckily, at level 20, you don't have many tools in your tool shed, right? If you're playing a mage, you had Frostbolt or you had Ice Lance. You had like one ability, but that one ability would just one-shot something, right? And as you leveled up, your power kind of dipped down. Your power dipped down, and the worst scenario is by the time you hit level 70 or max level, your power felt really gross. So Mr. Pandaria had this kind of like ski slope style start to it. You started off ludicrously powerful, but unfortunately, as you leveled up and as you reached level 70, you kind of got nerfed into the ground. But then, post max level, you were able to recover that slowly. And actually, it was like almost an exponential growth by the time you were like 500 item level or something. So like, by the time you were like fully geared, it wasn't 500 item level, was it? It was like 470 something. I can't flipping remember. But the point is you started off OP as all hell. You then got annoyingly weak. And you then eventually, after you grinded out all of your gear, was like just ludicrously overpowered. But, as has already been pointed out, at least you started in God mode. You started in God mode. You started being really, really super duper mega powerful, which at least meant that anybody that didn't really know what Remix was, at least got to experience like absolute blasting, even if they kind of took it away from you before they gave it you back. So, not ideal, but at least it got people hooked on the game mode, right? If we look at Legion, we'll do green for Legion. Green for Legion, you start off absolute dog shit. It takes you 30 seconds to kill a mob at level 10. Many GCDs are spent at the beginning. And 10 through till 20 is absolutely gross. You start getting your jewelry, which gives you a bit of a power spike, and you start to feel a little bit better. You sort of start to feel as if you are getting a little bit more powerful, but then sort of 50, 60, 70 levels in, it weirdly sort of starts to come back down again, and you probably ding max level at about the same sort of point. But the problem with Legion Remix is you've never had that experience of being overpowered. Now, many players are not going to make it past the leveling phase. They're just not going to. You still will probably, maybe, possibly have a similar curve as we had in Mop Remix. But this bit, at the very beginning, this is a problem. This is a big problem at the beginning, because if you never have that feeling of overpoweredness in any way, shape or form, even if they take it away from you before they give it you back, people aren't even going to get to this point where they can get it back. Now, I would also state that from up to max level, with up to max level in Mr. Pandaria, was first character 8 hours, roughly. You started off super duper mega powerful, and it was kind of weird that you lost all of your power by the time you dinged max level, but you could do it in about 8 hours, and then quite quickly after, let's say another 8 hours after, you were kind of getting your power back. And I'm quite sure in Legion Remix, once you've dinged max level and you put some time into it, you'll get your power back at a similar rate. But people aren't going to get there. People are straight up never going to get there, because in Legion Remix right now, reaching max level is 16 hours. It's basically double. Basically double. Now, this is hopefully a numbers thing that they can just tune and make it better, but they need to address this problem, that you are absolutely weak as fuck. And the leveling time takes longer than retail, and people are never going to get through that first 16 hours to get to the bit where you might even potentially be able to get powerful. It's just not going to work. And these are some of the little nuances that I'm pretty sure Blizzard aren't really paying attention to. For reference, the reason they're trying to get rid of this bit up here, The reason they don't want this section here is because people ended up doing stupid shenanigans, like holding their characters at level 20 to just be absolute god mode forever, and doing things like not looting anything, so XP tokens went to a mailbox. And so what players were able to do was able to get to about level 40, holding all of their XP in the mailbox, and then they'd open the mailbox and they'd completely skip this part. They'd skip this grindy gameplay section down here where you are just like weak sauce hitting like a wet fish. So Blizzard have clearly tried to get rid of that overpoweredness and try and hope that this experience here is interesting for players. But I can tell you it's not. I can tell you it's not. I can tell you for a fact that this section here is gross. In Legion Remix. This is the bit where everybody says that leveling feels bad. Because you're not gaining enough power. It's taking too long. And you are comparing it directly against what you had back here. Which was, you were God tier. Okay, you slowly lost some of your abilities in Mr. Pandaria Remix, and it felt a little bit weird, but there was stuff you could do to sort of ignore it. Having power being up this end of the, up the top end of the graph is where the fun comes in. And Legion Remix is going to take... Oh, and I should also point out, one of the biggest problems is this here could be a time wall. This could be as far as you could go in 2 weeks. This could be your time gate for the first 2 weeks. Then another 2 weeks later, you can go here, up to here. And then another 2 weeks, you might be able to go up to here. And then finally, once they unlock everything, maybe then you can get to up here. But there's a good chance that it could be 6 weeks plus before you're actually able to get to the fun bit. So fuck off time gating is the simple TLDR to that. But these are some of the things that Blizzard have got to get right with Legion Remix. Because when you compare it against a MOP Remix, it's just not as fun. It's just not. Fun is by being in this top quadrant of level of power. And if they hold you down for far, far, far too long, nobody will have much interest in doing it. Shenanigans is what made it fun. I think treating Legion Remix like a classic expansion instead of a conduit for alts and collectibles is the mistake. Yeah. I mean, it's Legion Classic Plus. And it's not even Legion Classic Plus because it's slower than flipping retail right now. It's genuinely slower than retail. But speed of leveling is something that is hopefully just a tuning knob, right? Hopefully. But this time gating could be the ultimate death of it. Could be the ultimate death of it. If you have to wait 2 weeks, then 4 weeks, then 6 weeks, then 8 weeks before you can actually get enough item level on your gear to the point where it's actually fun again, they're going to quite literally shoot themselves in the foot. Because nobody will get it to this point. Because this point right at the very end here, where you could end up being really fun 6 to 8 weeks down the line, that's going to clash with housing. That's going to clash with Christmas. No, people will have peaced out way before that. People will have peaced out. See you later. Not bothered. But anyway, that's my little TED talk. That's my little paint demonstration of how Mr. Pandaria and Remix compares, and why I think in its current standing, time gating not good, no purpose to this whatsoever. More importantly, the overall element of fun is seriously lacking because your power gain is just non-existent and it's too grindy. Anyway, let's finish my delve. Sorry, I said I'd stop talking about remix, wouldn't I? But you can see I'm clearly passionate about this because Mop remix was really goddamn fun, and I can see them dropping the ball big time on Legion remix, and it's just kind of sad to see, honestly. There'll be plenty enough players that'll eat shit. This is the thing, though. This is why Blizzard keeps getting away with it, because they do have plenty enough players that will just eat the shit. They'll eat the shit, and they'll wait for the hotfix, and they'll wait for the complaints to come in, and they'll wait for the changes to be made, and they'll just eat the shit, right? They'll play through it. Those collections will be of so much value to some people that they will just eat the shit. And the numbers will be big enough that, you know, it probably won't end up being seen as a success in Blizzard's eyes, but, you know, it will gain some engagement. The reality will quite quickly be, though, is that if Legion Remix doesn't perform anywhere near as well as Mists of Pandaria Remix, it will just get scrapped. It will just straight up get scrapped. It'll get completely benched. We'll never have another remix again, which is a great shame because Mists of Pandaria remix was really fun. Really fun. Oh, you hit item level 700. Nice. Regardless of what I take out my vault today, I should achieve the same. I hope to hit 700 today. Lost that candle. Can't be bothered to go back and get it. Have I hit the midway point yet? Have I hit my save point yet? No, we're literally right at the end again. And I haven't spawned my flipping map dude. I'll just spawn the map dude down in this corner. Having a later drop means you actually had a power fantasy to charge you up and give you that extra little bit of resilience you needed to get through it. Yeah, this is kind of where I think Mists of Pandaria was certainly not perfect, right? For example, if we were to take this and let's say we were to hypothetically create a scenario that would feel the best, you would probably start being able to like be more powerful than what you would on Remix by default, but not super duper mega OP. You would still, whilst leveling, still want to slightly increase your power gains, probably up to about 100%, I would say, by the time that you have dinged max level. And then you would also maybe want it to plateau off a little bit, but still go up until you get this exponential at the end anyway. You want the curve to be, you know, relatively smooth, but just always kind of going up, meaning everything you are doing, both whilst leveling and also in the end game when you're grinding out your gear, should end you at the same point. But a smoother curve is much needed. This flipping wiggly mountain business we got going on with how Legion is tuned right now is just wrong. Looking forward to leveling up my gear with bronze and just becoming a Frogger instead of creating a bunch of tunes to get the collectibles. Give that real Azeroth power grind vibes. It's yeah, it's not going to be that way with its current standing. Oh my god, I've nearly forgot to do my map again. Oh shit, ambush defeated. This is literally it, isn't it? Okay, this might go horribly wrong. You're in combat. Have I ballsed it here? I think I've ballsed it here, haven't I? I'm entirely forgetting. Your pet is out of range. Where the flipping hell is me pet? Can I not be in combat, please? There's a pet on the floor taking a nap. She is snoring right now.
Here's your take of the spoils.
Okay. Summon you.
Oh, I need to rest after that one.
Time to face our fears, champion.
Where the hell's my pet? Camera swaps to a puppy. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot that they one-shot me.
Next time, let's use some harder hitting moves.
Thanks for that advice, Bran. Really useful. Dog looks like it got one shot too. Yeah. Hey, another overlay matrix. During combat, Bran has a chance to manifest a 60% weaker ethereal copy of himself to fight by your side. Are you shitting me? Bran's useless at the best of times. Fucking useless at the best of times. Why would I want a copy of a... Oh, yeah. Would you like a slightly less smelly turd? No. Absolutely no. 60% of 0 is still 0, yeah. Manifest a slightly weaker version of him. I've never read the tooltip for that curio before.
Nice find. Grab one of those enchanted candles to stay safe from these shadows.
Did you abandon the Mechanica grind? My pets don't sell anymore. I haven't abandoned it, no. I just haven't been doing it today. I've been doing it the last couple of days, but it's reset day today. There's far too much to be doing. The Mechanica grind is probably, in my eyes, one of the most stable goal-making farms that will be in existence for some time. There is never a day in the future where those mounts are not going to be wanted. And considering the amount of time and effort it takes to get the Mechanicas to make one, they will always have value. They will always have pretty significant value as well. Because they will both be scarce. They will both be scarce, and they will always be wanted. That's a nice recipe for expensive. Now, yeah, you're probably right. The sales rate on them will absolutely tank. But I'm not bothered about that. I was struggling throughout the entirety of 11.1 to keep them in stock in the first place. Like, they were selling faster than I could farm the damn things. There's 80 realms in the EU that I can have a mount and the pet listed on. There's zero concerns for me that farm's going anywhere anytime soon. Somebody bought 11 pets from me on the auction house. I love the Undercity cockroach, still selling for 300 gold. Much like Transmog and any other collectible, really, people go to the auction house and they filter by uncollected. And in many cases, people just buy from the cheapest upwards. And eventually those collectors end up getting to the expensive stuff. So this is why pets, toys, transmog, mounts, anything that is considered a collectible always can make you gold. Ultimately why there's such a potential market in flipping these things as well. Because for as long as there's a market of people that will want to buy them, there'll be a selection of people that will acquire them and will be willing to sell them at an undervalued price to shift it quickly. Right, what's our hero piece going to be? If RNG will bless me nicely, it will give me shoulders or it will give me chest. Shoulders or chest. Either or, I'll be more than happy with.
Nice find.
Right, Gilded Stash. Hidden Trove. Here we go. Well, let's just open the main one first. Shit, I got shoulders from here. I didn't want shoulders from there. I wanted shoulders from flipping. Alright, sure. Right, main one. Shoulders or chest? Belt. Fuck me. Oh, that's not the play. That's not the play. That's literally not the play. That could only be worse if it was a cape. That's not the play. Well, it is still possible for me to get my 4 set this week, but the way I'll have to do it is by using a catalyst charge on a champion piece of gear. Because I can take the helm, I can then throw these in the catalyst or these in the catalyst, and I can still get my 4 set this week. But it will be on the basis of the the item that I catalyst will still eventually need to be replaced, but it will at least get me the 4 set. So that's the way we're going to have to do it then. We can take the helm out of the guild vault. Out the vault, sorry. We can take helm out the vault and then catalyst our shoulders or our chest. I think it really matters. Buy a mythic raid boost? No, I'm not buying boosts. Mr. Delver. 19 gold. Love to see it. Okay. It's also probable that this hero piece of gear doesn't even get equipped, does it? Because whilst I can upgrade that to be higher item level than the borrowed power belt, I'm not convinced it beats the borrowed power belt ever. We look, see what Wowhead class guide says about replacing that belt and when we do it. Assuming the Wowhead guide has some info on that. This gear. Disc belt. Overcharged dells, blah, 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 blah. You'll want to select static charge for your power, for your durable information securing container. When to stop using it, you will not want to replace your disc belt as it is better than any belt you will find in Season 3. Well, there we go. That's a dead hero piece of gear then. Literally dead piece of hero gear for the week. Oh well. Oh well. Let's go open our vault then. Let's take this 694 hero helm with a socket. That will be our 3-piece. And then we can catalyze our chest or shoulders. Equip it for the achieve. Equip it for the achieve. And now it's lower item level than my current belt anyway. I've got the I've already got that achieve, I don't need it. Right, that can just be straight equipped. No hesitation putting that on. What do we throw in the catalyst? Hiccup is enough now. Yeah, you don't actually need to equip stuff. Just having the piece of gear is enough for the... I can already upgrade everything to rune crests anyway. It's going to take me a little while to get to the point where I can upgrade rune to gilded, but we will get there soon. Now... I didn't realise boots could... Yeah, boots could go in there as well, technically. I don't want to put boots in there. Do I do the shoulders because they've got avoidance on them as well? Bit meh either way, isn't it? That said, my chest piece has haste verse on it. If I put it in here, it switches to crit mastery, which is actually better stats for me as well. I would wait to catalyze for fear of buyer's remorse. Well, no, it gets me my 4 set. Just because one piece is champion tier, not hero, we can always replace this at the end of the day. 4-piece set bonus is worth significantly more than a few item levels anyway. So this I still think is the safest and the best play. Plus it gives me the 4-piece set bonus now. Summoning a beast while under the effects of lead from the front rouses the wildlife nearby into a stampede, charging your target, dealing 2.5 million physical damage to up to 8 enemies over 7 seconds. Yeah, that in most cases I think is going to be quite the bump. And we can always upgrade that item level. We can push that champion piece of gear to 8 of 8 to squeeze as much out of it as possible in the short term. I haven't played since Dragonflight. I remember the profit margins got too small for crafting in Dragonflight unless you were spamming trade chat orders. They also made rep rewards very uninteresting, copy paste from each other. Did these things get better in the War Within? No. No. If anything, it's the same scenario, but maybe even in some people's eyes, even slightly worse. Margins, they've not touched crafting this entire expansion. So pretty much since Season 1, margins have been single digits at best. The entire, you know, Season 1 you had some fun with crafting. Season 2, Season 3, it's single digit margins. And if you're happy to fight over single digit margins, you can still technically, yes, make some gold, but it's a lot of hard work for not a lot of return. Which is why a lot of people have just basically not done really any crafting. Okay. 4-piece set bonus. Nice. 1 piece is champion rather than all of it being hero. But it's a step in the right direction at least. Do we have... We've got 106 runed ethereal crests. I probably want to upgrade both of those as far as they can go, really, don't I? I got my other pieces of set to 4 of 6, so getting this to 4 of 6 as well. Uses runed and uses valor stones, puts it up to 704. I can't see any reason to not do that, honestly. And we can also look at taking that to 8 of 8. Takes 15 more runed ethereal crests than I would like to spend. But it at least gets all of our set pieces at item level 704. Hey! And we hit the magic 700 number. That's cool.
Go carefully.
I can actually grab all of these. Oh, when I say all,
Until next time.
apparently just one.
So many possibilities.
There's an extra
Farewell.
15 runed.
We have slept long enough.
I will do my duty.
4 of 6. That's capped. Yeah, I really only want to upgrade hero gear, honestly. Which already using my runed right now, because my runed are going to be slightly limited. Man, even I'm not 700 yet. Get going. Get going. Can upgrade those rings. Need 45 for that. What's our cap on runed crests this week? 270. So there's a potential 60 more. There's a potential 60 more on top of what I've got, which is 16. So I can get one of these. How much is it to go 4 of 6? It's 45. 60 on top of this. Okay, I can't quite upgrade both of my rings to 4 of 6 this week. But I can get it. I can get the ball rolling on those. So yeah, I'm just upgrading hero pieces to 4 of 6 now with any crests I get. Squeeze out a little bit more love. It might be worth saving 45. Have I got any big slots? Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
Farewell.
We'll leave it there. 700 item level is good enough. 700 item level. 700 item level. 4-piece set. I need to socket and enchant and do all of that sort of good stuff probably, but we're well on our way to having some reasonable results. I'm making 400k a week from the enchanting concentration. It has shifted me away from the player power grind, likely for the rest of the War Within. I can see why. I mean, 400k a week is a token a week in the EU right now. A token a week is pretty special in this sort of climate. Swap to the belt out yet? No. I've looked at the class guide. Beastmasters keep this the entire season. Yeah. We use this the entire season. Spells and abilities have a chance to grant you a static charge, increasing your verse by 11,000 for 30 seconds. Each of your next spells and abilities reduces the verse bonus by 5%. Yeah, this is powerful enough that we apparently keep this the entire season. Yeah, the Doge is kind of the opposite side of me right now. Cable doesn't go much further. And if I move too much, she wakes up. You're fast asleep. Fast asleep. The pet doesn't consume the verse charges from the belt proc, which means it's super strong for BM. Oh, is that why it works? Okay. Good to know. Good to know. That should have, actually, in theory, spiked our DPS a little bit from what we've been doing recently. We haven't increased our item level much, but now having access to the 4-piece set bonus and our 720 crafted that away. Alright, it's reasonable. We'll take that. We'll take that. Right, okay, that's interestingly all minus doing one single delve, actually. I need to do another delve to get the gilded stat. Oh, I need 2 more delves, technically. That's the bare minimum I need to do this week. 1 more delve for the gilded. And then a 4th one for the 2nd slot in the vault. It's going to be questionable whether I bother doing 8. At this point, doing 8 delves every week instead of 4 is quite literally twice the amount of effort. All for 1 extra chance at getting a piece of gear that works well for me. Whereas, honestly, 700 was my goal for this season, and I've already hit it. So, I'm kind of chilling. Kind of chilling. Kind of happy with that. I might go to the undermine and do some farming, honestly, right now. Or we can load up the other accounts and scan for some deals. Some deals, some steals, some sales of the century.
I have many wares.
Oh, actually, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't done either today or this week is picked up these. We will never fill these trees if I don't do the flipping quests for them, will we? Oh, and let's ever so quickly just fix this.
Wanderer. Beware of Yeti.
Go on, please be some good orders. Don't screw me, game. Wow, fisted. I need 3 orders with leatherworking. Wow, okay. Nope. do those. Oh shit, I didn't mean to take all of that. Okay, let's grab jewel crafting orders. Hopefully these have got slightly better results. Sure. Somebody putting that up for public orders, risky business. But we'll take it. Oh, goddamn game. The fact that you can occasionally snag a public order is still kind of wild. Kinda wild. These are running out, aren't they? Is it going to be next week that we get another... Yeah, if we get another spark next week, that means we can also make another piece of crafted gear next week. I wonder what the plan's going to be for that. It'll probably just be to upgrade one of my existing pieces of crafted gear from Season 2. But it will then just be a case of just fill the gaps, won't it? Bracers will be a strong contender, I think, for making next week. With our next spark. Because, we had... What were we using last season? Yeah, these. Double the effect of your other Nerubian embellished items, both positive and negative. And then we've got Ascendance on our weapon. So we're actually kind of missing... We're missing having that on here right now. If next week I upgrade these to 720... Yeah. Upgrade those next week. That's the plan.
The winds guide you. Walk with the Earth Mother.
Oh, how many threads do I have? Oh, 2. Shit, I need one more. Need one more thread. Maybe we do another delve. Ha, I said do. Maybe one more delve. 20, 40, 60, 80, 160. Less than 100 to go in leatherworking. 15. I need 60. 45 to go in jewel crafting. Right, one more delve then, I guess. One more delve ticks a few boxes. It'll mean we can upgrade our wraps to rank 6. We'll get our gilded for the week. Which one do we think is worth doing on 11? We've got Dread Pit or the Nightfall Sanctum. It really makes a difference, does it? Dark Fuse Disruption. Just go do the Dread Pit. That'll be fine. No, wait, hang on. Ooh, it is so close to the end of the month. I should probably check the trading post. Have I done trading post stuff this month? Clearly not, because I still have a lot of traders tender.
Safe journeys.
Did I... Where's the journey business for that gone? Is it in here? Have I... You have collected all the rewards for this month. Okay. Ends in 4 days. Do I still want... Do I still want anything from here? Do we want the flying mount thing? He's kind of gold. I don't want these silly chest sets. Even though black and gold is an absolute killer combo, isn't it? It is a killer combo. The question is am I ever going to transmog it? Absolutely flipping not. War Saber is here. Sentinel War Wolf is here. Little Murlocky Locky. I don't think I'm bothered by most of this. I've also got the Pearlescent Butterfly frozen still apparently. Probably no. Yeah, I'm not bothered by any of these. Not fussed. Right, let's fly down to
the Titan's bedrock and
here, I guess. Oh, no, actually, I don't care which one of these I do. So there's an easier solution. Just take me there. Take me to a random one. Whichever one, we'll just do it. Get to test out our new 4-piece set now. This needs to be an 11. Do I have a key for this? One. Right, which one's this?
Interesting.
Dilla. Get the weapons back. Sure, okay, recover some weapons. Roger that. It's the one we fire ourselves all the way to the other end and then come back again. No, it's not, is it? This is the one we slowly work our way through. Time is actually 2 o'clock. It's time for some lunch soon, I think. Definitely time for some lunch. I might do this delve and I might... We'll probably just do this delve for now, and then I might go get some lunch and sort the dogs and things, and then we'll see about throwing the stream up again later. Might do some farming and some shopping later on this evening. Do some of the actual gold making stuff. I managed to get most of my auctions relisted yesterday, so I don't have to mess around in the auction house too much. Just a case of doing some scans, seeing if we can find some bargains. Maybe wombo combo that with some Mechanicas. I've actually, you can see I've got 17 Mechanicas now, so I'm deciding whether I restock my pets or wait till we hit 25 and just grab one of the mounts for a quick and easy win. Haven't decided. But I am going to tweak my sale price of the Mechanica pets and mounts now. I'm now going to properly go into long-term sell mode, where I will price them based upon extracting the most value from them rather than shifting them fast. You caught her doing stretches. You seem to have good timing with your cameras. Catch her just as she's doing. Even if she's asleep, she's entertaining. There's going to actually have to come a point, and I tell you what, it might not be a terrible idea to do some of this before Alpha turns up. I should probably go through my old professions and just double check that I've got every profession from every expansion leveled up at least. Obviously, I'm not looking to like min-max and collect every recipe, but at least having them all leveled up is probably something I should double check. I'm sure there's gaps in that. In fact, I'm almost convinced there's gaps in that somewhere. Just before housing comes out, this is the theory, so that when housing turns up, if there's anything that we want to be mass producing, selling, recipes collecting, that we have everything leveled up already. We don't want to be messing around particularly quickly trying to scrappy level things when chances are material prices might take a bit of a bump when housing comes out with the initial demand for stuff. Want to have them all leveled, even the gathering. Legion mining is a pain. It's a bit of a pain in the ass if you want to like rank 3 everything for sure. I can't quite remember. Yeah, it was kind of silly, wasn't it? Didn't you have to like rely on world quests or something absolutely completely bonkers crazy to actually get to 100 skill in it? The gathering side of stuff I'm not so fussed about. I mean, knowing me, that'll be the we take the portal or just do we do it normally? Let's take the portal. Recipes that were behind quest lines. Oh, that's true. I didn't mind that. I didn't necessarily mind. I actually am on record for saying that Legion was one of my favourite expansions for professions because there was actual gameplay involved. The fact that there was some element of, you know, stuff to do rather than just standing around crafting and selling stuff. You know, you felt like you worked for it a little bit, but not in terms of like working for it by grinding patron orders. You catch my drift here. Did a bunch of delves yesterday, didn't see the gate once, thought they nerfed it. They did nerf them. They also nerfed the little swirly things that give you materials. They made it so that you have to then complete the delve to get the loot from those. I've had a few of these gates, honestly, in the last couple of weeks. At least one, maybe even 2 a week. Will Legion Remix leave behind any mining herring mats or herbing mats? Interestingly, you can herb and mine in Legion Remix, but not for the ore or the herbs. You still just get bronze and you get infinite power. But you don't need to have the professions. Anybody can just pick up a herb. Anybody can pick up an ore. Kind of like I've been suggesting Blizzard do for years at this point. Make gathering baseline. We're going to have that little discussion when Alpha turns up as well, you know. Make gathering baseline. I think it's time, you know. I think everybody should be able to pick up herbs. Everybody should be able to pick up ore. I do not think you should be required to take one of your 2 primary profession slots up to be able to pick up a herb. Even if they want to keep herbing and mining as their own dedicated professions, maybe give them some level of expertise over and above what every regular Joe can do. But I do think it is about time they just make that sort of shit baseline. Especially since the emphasis now seems to be a lot more on players being self-sufficient. I do think, and there is part of me that wonders just how much of this lumber-related stuff is going to be bind on pickup. I do think players are going to have to probably go out, and this is why I'm sort of questioning just how profitable decor will be for crafters. I do feel like a lot of the crafting recipes will require you to have the profession yourself, but also for you to go out and gather your own lumber. Then the crafted decor could very easily be bind on warbound. It might not be sellable. There might be decor items that you can collect in the open world and even maybe farm for that can then be sold on the auction house. But I would not be too surprised to see a lot of the decor crafted stuff being something that you have to craft yourself. You have to go get the lumber. You have to have the profession. You have to level up that profession to create it yourself. Or at least have an alt that has the ability to do it. And kind of the fact that they've been so sheepish about kind of telling us anything about how this sort of stuff is crafted leads me to believe that something like that is quite likely coming. Players will be responsible for farming up their own materials to make their decor items. Maybe they will allow you to sell the decor items on the auction house as well, which will create an interesting market for valuing. You remember how we always had troubles with valuing things like Blood of Sargeras and Expulsum and stuff. It was always difficult for crafters to put a value on that because it was a bind on pickup reagent. I wouldn't be too shocked to see lumber be something we have to go get ourselves for the purpose of crafting decor items. Another pair of shoulders. Burst mastery. No thanks. There we go. There's our gilded for the week done as well. Means next week we'll have 60 to be able to do another crafted piece, yeah. This week we can convert any weathered and carved up to help us catch or to cap out our ruined, which will slowly but surely push us to the point where we don't need ruined even and can start converting it into more gilded, which would be nice, very nice. I wish they just took the system from Elder Scrolls Online. Furnishing recipes drop 4 professions. Then there are housing-specific items that you gather. In WoW, it would be lumber. And it should just be sellable. If it's bind on pickup, I can't imagine. Maybe not bind on pickup, but bind on, warbound. It's quite possible to me that a lot of this becomes warbound. A strong chance a lot of it becomes warbound. Gives rhyme and reason for your alts to level their old professions, reinvigorating the old zones, the old content that revolves around that. A lot of crafters are going ahead and doing that ahead of time anyway. They did kind of tell you to go and, this has come straight from Blizzard, let's not forget. The blog post did literally tell you, go and level your old professions. It's not beating around the bush. It literally told you to go level your old professions, so it's very strong chance that a lot of the components end up being warbound and not tradable. if the final crafted item becomes tradable, it does mean that some people don't have to do that. But it also means those of us that want to be crafting and then selling will have to have done a lot of this legwork and might be limited to how many items we can actually craft and sell. They're implementing importing, exporting, furnishing layouts. It would be a bit silly if there was no way to sell a quote-unquote pack of the furniture alongside it. There are people who decorate and sell home designs in Elder Scrolls Online, and I could see that happening even easier in WoW with the import-export. Yeah, it's definitely a market for that stuff. Definitely a market for that sort of stuff. Like what we had way back in the day with like profession kits, for example. I can see decor kits becoming a thing. How players go about trading them is still very questionable, but hey, let's wait for an alpha. We'll find out. We'll get some of these answers. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, boys and girls, I am going to leave it there for now. There's a good chance I'll throw the stream up later on this evening for a bit of an evening bonus stream. Maybe we'll do some shopping for deals. We'll do some rare killing. We'll just keep ourselves occupied, few beers, chill out, relax in the evening. I like to do that on a Wednesday. There's actually a possibility that I might extend on this little mini TED talk that I did earlier about Remix. There's also a possibility that I get super lazy and just slice it out of the VOD. I might just slice it out of the VOD. I don't know. But I think some sort of graphical representation of why the two game modes are feeling very, very different from each other might hit home a little bit harder than people just saying leveling feels slow. I don't feel very powerful. I'm thinking it might be slightly more constructive feedback. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, boys and girls, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good luck with your vaults. Good luck with your goal making. If you're selling all your concentration wares today, your enchants, I would imagine. Have fun with that. Hope you make loads of gold. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I might see you a little bit later. Have a good one. Peace.